Hi guys, hope you're doing well today. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures and Fred and Sheila Investigates.
Guys, this is an unplanned video. Woke up during the night, just out of the blue, just hit me. And woke Sheila up and we started talking about it and started researching. You probably hard for you to tell what's behind us there. It's got some writing in the middle of it, but that is a skull, an X-ray of a skull
Hmm.
with a nose. That's two eyes
Yeah.
and a nose.
Hmm.
We're going to play a video here, and then I want to go into a couple of things with you. So pay attention. You've seen the video before. It's just a couple of seconds long, and pick up on the other side.
Okay.
May be interesting to you.
Okay.
The autopsy of Pauline revealed a healing, prior to death nasal fracture on the right side of her nose, most commonly caused by interpersonal trauma. Our office, after review of the case file, believes that the TBI has produced evidence sufficient to create probable cause, meaning more likely than not, that would allow us, if he were alive today, to present an indictment to the McNairy County Grand Jury for their consideration against Buford Pusser for the murder of his wife, Pauline.
They just convicted Buford Pusser of murdering his wife. Now, he may have used the phrase he could get an indictment. It doesn't take beyond a reasonable doubt to get an indictment. It doesn't take, it takes 51% over 50, a little bit more than half. Just somebody believing you can indict a bologna sandwich. He just convicted Buford Pusser on that stage
Yeah.
of murdering his wife because he made that statement.
Right.
He's a prosecutor. He's a big prosecutor. He made that statement. Buford murdered his wife. People believe what he says. When people of authority speak, people listen, or they used to. This is a good example to you, people, why not to listen. I don't care if they have 5 badges in their billfold. I don't care if they have 10 degrees on their wall. Don't pay attention to everything somebody tells you. Some people abuse that position, abuse that power. They think you're stupid, and they tell you that thinking you're going to believe whatever they say. By that man on that stage saying that right then, and the other man that he's accusing in the grave and unable to defend himself, he just convicted that man of murdering his wife forevermore. Now, my question is, here's what hit me when I woke up out of a dead sleep, and I don't sleep good because I have back issues.
Yeah.
I was in a dead sleep. It wasn't back pain that woke me. It wasn't cramps. It wasn't spasms. It was the nasal. They did an autopsy on this lady. They raised her up out of the ground, her and two of her children.
Hmm.
They raised her up to give her an autopsy.
Right.
They gave her an autopsy because she had been shot in the head. On this stage right here, you don't hear him talk about the autopsy and being shot. In fact, they asked them, did the gun
Match.
match the autopsy? Thank you,
Hmm.
babe. And what they say?
He said you have to read the file.
See the file.
Yeah.
See the file. Now they dug her up to do an autopsy because her head had been blown off with a gun.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, they never mentioned the gun or her head or how she been shot or who shot or anything. They mentioned that she had a breakage in the nasal,
Nasal frac.
a nasal fracture. Now my first thing there is, see guys, I don't trust a lot of people. You've probably seen that from my videos. I don't care what degrees they hold. I don't care what positions they hold, from sheriff to chief to commissioner to director to chief prosecutor. Them titles are nothing. You can take those titles and 50 cents and buy you a Coca-Cola. Those titles are useless. It's the person behind that title. Now, they said it was the autopsy was done by a pathologist. And where's the independent person at? Because see, these guys here on this stage, the director and Mr. Davison, they've got a narrative that they're trying to reach. They're trying to convict. They just did. They convicted Buford Pusser of murdering his wife.
Yeah.
That's their motivation. That's their goal. That's their, in my opinion, I'll throw my opinion in there, which I really don't even care about my opinion no more. If you guys can't look at this and see what's going on as well as I can, but if these two guys have a narrative and they got four more guys with a narrative that's expert witnesses and their narrative compares with these two's narrative, what makes us think that the pathologist or the medical examiner's narrative wouldn't be the same, wouldn't be influenced? I don't know that. I have no proof of that. I'm asking it in a question form. How do we know that because they needed something more? The bullets wasn't there. The bullets passed through the head. They're gone. There's no evidence. Even if there had been bullets, there's nothing because the TBI has lost the shell casings and the other projectiles to compare it to. There's nothing to compare it to. There's no car. Absolutely nothing. Even if they'd found bullets in her head, how do we know that the pathologist and the ME didn't just say she had a broken nose? How do we know? We don't. There was no independent medical examiner there. There was nobody from the family side that said, hey guys, do you all want to have an independent examiner here? Have an independent examiner. They didn't even tell the family they was going to dig up their moms and dads on top of Pauline.
Until they did it.
Yeah, they're digging the grave. And somebody called and said, hey, they're digging up your grandma and grandpa. What? Your dad and your mom. They're digging up your grandmother.
Yeah.
But in the process, your dad and mom's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where is the x-ray of Pauline's nose? You know, they showed we've got skulls.
Right.
We've got skull x-rays supposedly from Pauline. They wasn't brought up. They wasn't mentioned that gunshots didn't compare to gunshots. See the report. We've got skull x-rays, but we're not talking about the gunshots. We're talking about Mr. Davison here is talking about a domestic violence. She's got a broken nose. Did they show us an x-ray of the broken nose? Sheila, show the picture with the name at the bottom. This is how the autopsies, this is how the x-ray would show up. It's down at the bottom right hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
See that's a broke nose there to the left. See how it's going crooked?
Yeah.
Show the other one. This one right there, I believe. There's you a broke nose, guys.
Yeah.
See how the bone's going over top of the other nasal bone?
I'll put.
And that's on the right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on the right. It states there, right?
I tell Sheila to comment, and then I get on a row and I don't shut up and give her a break
It's
to say anything.
good. No worries.
Did we have one more with the name of the person on a? Did we have another X-ray and it showed the person's name? We don't have that one, do we? Okay.
No, I just have these here.
Okay.
This was the one that we had that had a name.
Well, there
and
was
we-
another one too down here on the bottom left, but it's okay. On these autopsy photographs, guys, it would have the person's name,
Yeah.
Pauline Pusser. It would have her name. So somebody can't come up someday and slip this X-ray that you can get off of Google. This X-ray here come off of Google.
Yeah.
Google broken nose from autopsies,
Yeah.
from an X-ray, and that's what shows up. Let's hope that someday that picture don't show up in Pauline's file with no name on it. Pauline's file would have a name, Pusser, on it, and it would show her nose. This supposed broken nose. Do I have doubt? Yep, I'm sorry. I do. I don't trust medical examiners. I don't trust pathologists. I don't trust prosecutors. I don't trust TBI directors. I don't trust anybody, especially when there's a narrative that they're trying to reach. Guys, there is no, I hope nobody ever tries to prosecute Mr. Davison on what he just stood up there on Buford Pusser and said. I hope. I can see him as a prosecutor, somebody charging his son or a member of his family with a crime such as murder. And I can see him taking this case and saying, this is malarkey. This is bull crap. Where's the X-ray from Pauline's autopsy? They showed us the skull been blown apart with bullets. Where's they didn't discuss that. They discussed her nose. That seems like the most important piece of evidence there, that this was a domestic. And Buford, because they had read this in Mike Elam's book, because Mike Elam's got a paragraph or a chapter in his book where somebody has told him over the years that Mama's dead, Aunt's dead, but they said they were out in the parking lot at 4 o'clock in the morning. My Lord, why ain't they home with their children? What kind of people hangs around the parking lot of a club at 4 o'clock in the morning? What kind of people do we believe them? Do we even believe if they was alive today and could tell us? Would 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, the clubs close at 12 o'clock. The honky tonks closed at 12 o'clock back then.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we've ever heard said, because Buford was.
He said he stopped at one guy and told him, "Not by my watch."
Yeah.
Said, "You're late. You're a minute late."
Shut her down.
Mm-hmm.
So from 12 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the morning, two women's hanging out in the middle of a parking lot for what? What are they doing? And we're supposed to believe their story? There's so much that a prosecutor would not do or a TBI director would not buy into. This, guys, this should be on some kind of a comedy. You could put this on a comedy show and people wouldn't believe it. Head hit over the dashboard. Sheila said, well, she could have hit her head. Well, they're trying to say that it was a healed or a healing wound. It was even healing. So, see, you couldn't blame it on the dashboard.
Right.
You couldn't blame it and say, well, it just happened. No, it's happened before. Okay, great. Sorry to get loud.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
This is why, guys, that we're going to quit doing these videos. This is why Fred's leaving the Buford Pusser case alone. We're going to do the video on the reenactment of the shooting and show you how stupid that is. But this is why, because my heart and my back, I've had back surgery. And funny thing is, when I get stressed, when I get aggravated, my back hurts. My back hurts worse than my heart. I have back pain from the stress. So it's best for me to just leave this alone. I know, I feel you, baby. Expert witnesses. Did TBI find any medical records? The TBI is such a good investigative agency. Not. They've lost the evidence. They've lost the car. They've lost shell casings. They've lost the blood samples. They've lost the clothing. They've lost the shoes. They have nothing but pictures. And probably those pictures they got has probably come from people that's written books and happen to have those pictures. They probably bought them from P.D. Plunk. They said he sold pictures. What kind of deputy is that? What kind of character? What kind of person is that would sell pictures of a dead person or of a crime scene for $500 if what Mike Elam says is true, which you cannot believe, in my opinion. So what you got there? Toss up? Who said this? Who said that? Who do you believe? Or do you believe the TBI director and Mr. Davison? If they're such a good investigative agency, guys, any of you that's got the file out there, again, we're going to drop this case, but you guys might want to look through that file and see if you can find a hospital document from McNairy County Hospital, from Sumner Hospital, from Memphis Hospital, anywhere, even in Chicago, Illinois, where they moved from.
Yeah.
See if you can find, or see if they even research. Did they even go to the trouble to research? I don't know if they've got a coffee shop there, a Starbucks or not. If they don't have a Starbucks, they may not have took the time to meet with anybody and try to find out anything. This would have really taken investigative. I feel you, babe. Is there hospital records where Pauline Pusser had ever been to the hospital for a broken nose? Is there any kind of hospital records from any hospital where they've ever been to? Did anybody make the effort? Is it in the report, not to be added later?
Mm.
Is it in the, and we brought this up before, so it could have been added before they released the report, because we've mentioned this in one of our second or third videos about there should be hospital records.
Mm-hmm.
Is there hospital records where Pauline had a broke nose? Is there hospital records from Pikeville, Kentucky, where her and Pete, Roman,
Vance.
Vance were married and lived for a while? Is there hospital at Pikeville Methodist Hospital, Pikeville Hospital, ARH? Is there any hospital records where she ever was treated for a broken nose? Did we investigate that far to give Buford the benefit of the doubt in case it wasn't Buford? Did we ever check to see it, her school records or anything that she went to school with or friends and say, do you remember Pauline ever playing softball and getting hit in the nose with a ball, wrecked a bicycle and broke her nose? Or do we just say, it's domestic? It's domestic. You're going to find out here in a minute. 70% of the assault domestics is from women towards their husbands,
Mm-hmm.
and husbands refusing to fight back.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
I have,
All you got to do is Google it.
I have a question.
Okay.
You talking about any records about the nasal,
Yeah.
going to the hospital and stuff or whatever, the doctor? What about any records of him and her fighting? Pete
Domestic.
Vance, yeah, thanks. Domestics. Are there any charges or any
Yeah.
complaints from your
Rather than
past on
two
that?
lot lizards out hanging out at a club, is there, rather than rumors from dead people, is there any proof, evidence? Guys, if you can't hold it in your hand, if you can't prove it, if it's not evidence, if you don't have an eyewitness, it's a rumor.
Hearsay. Yeah.
Anything that's not tangible is a rumor. We don't convict, we don't persecute people's reputations on rumors. We didn't used to. Now, Mr. Davison and Mr. Rouse, they've changed all that. I have a feeling one day, I hope I outlive them, because I want to see what goes on after they are deceased. I really want to see how many people out here on these Facebook pages and in the social media remember what these two guys did to Buford Pusser and his family. I want to see. I want to see what they do to Mike Elam. I hope they don't. I'm not encouraging it. I'm
By no
curious.
means. Yeah.
I'm curious. Oh no, I'm not. I don't want that. But there's some people that their reputation means so much to them. Fred McCoy, when I'm dead and gone, I don't care. Maybe these guys are the same.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't care. I don't care. My children, my grandchildren, everybody knows what the life we've lived. We don't have nothing to prove to nobody. Maybe they don't. I have a feeling that they have a lot more ego than Fred McCoy's got. I have a feeling that it would bother them when they're dead and gone and somebody comes up and makes some of the most outlandish, unbelievable rumors. If they are rumors, they may be somebody step forward that went to college with these guys, went to school, went to the police academy, and they come up and say, hey, I remember when. Do we believe them? Do we believe the stories they tell? I guess we do. We believe theirs. If we believe a story they tell on Buford, I guess we believe the story somebody tells on them. It's only fair. Where's the hospital record? Where's anything at all to prove? Sheila, that was a great point. Sheila brings things up. My mind works, but I try to go back to what she says. Some of these videos, I've already got a train of thought and I'm going and she'll say something and I'll go back and watch the video and I'm thinking, daggum, why didn't I pick up on that? Why didn't I respond to you, babe?
Because you're on a roll.
You made a great point. And she does that. So listen, Sheila's a lady of few words, but sometimes what she says makes a lot of sense. Is there any kind of records out there from Dickey or whatever his name was, the sheriff prior to Buford? Is there any kind of records after Buford was the sheriff, Coleman? Is there any kind of records from Warren Jones? Instead of him writing up these make-believe statements on Moffett and Buford Pusser, does he have any hard proof Does he have a charge there where McNairy County Courthouse has a file, a charge? We have looked all through the FBI files on Buford Pusser. You can Google FBI, go to archives, type in Buford Pusser. You'll find everything. You're not going to find a domestic where he beat his wife up. You're not going to find where, show this picture right here, babe. You're not going to find out where he beat him up. Look at there. Mr. Davison forgot to tell you about this. He forgot to tell you when Pauline Pusser beat her 6'6" husband up, didn't he? She didn't. She didn't. I'm making that up. I'm making that to make a point. Why couldn't a person like Mr. Davison hold a press conference one day and say, here's Buford Pusser in the hospital. His wife hit him in the side of the jaw with a frying pan. And this is what she done to him. Why couldn't they do that and say, hey, we need to dig Buford up and see if he had a broke nose or a broke jaw? They could do that under the precedents that the TBI director, Roush. I said 15 times before we started this video, I wasn't going to get excited. I was going to be calm. I was going to be. Guys, if you knew how outrageous this was for a prosecutor, a professional prosecutor. Do you see any prosecutors coming to the defense on any of our videos to Mr. Roush or Mr. Davison? That just come to me. Now, we've got several that's typed us, that's emailed us, that's even given us information. Have you seen even one that's come on there and said, I'm a prosecutor? And if you are, please do. If you can prove that you're a prosecutor. I'm a prosecutor. I agree with everything Mr. Davison says. I'm an attorney. I agree with everything he says. I wouldn't care to present this case to a jury for trial, not to a grand jury, for an indictment. You can indict a bologna sandwich, a good prosecutor, and you can take a man that's guilty of murder and get a no true bill from a grand jury if that's what a prosecutor wants. That may be hard for some of you to believe. It's true. The percentage of female aggressors vary depending on the study, but research indicates that women are the aggressor in a significant number of non-reciprocal intimate partner violence cases, with reports showing they are of 70%, as explained in the National Institute perpetrator. I'm sorry, guys. This writing is small and it's hard for me to see.
You're reading fast. And
National Institute of Articles of Health article. A study found that women were the perpetrator in over 70%.
Yeah.
Did anybody do any research on that? I wonder if Mr. Davison done any research on that. Or since the bullets wasn't there, since there was nothing to compare the gun to, since there's no evidence that the TBI has, because they lost the file. Go to Fred McCoy 40 and look at the file, the papers where they're trying to find the files. In 1973, you were the last one to have the file. I don't have it. I turned it in. I locked it in a lockbox. I'll see if I can't find it when I come back. 1983. Have you found anything? Then later on, you see in the report where they went to a person's house, a former TBI agent, and they recovered a file and 2 boxes of stuff and a picture of Buford Pusser. They took a picture, autographed picture of Buford. Why? Does that make them guilty of protecting Buford? Does that make them a fan of Buford? Does that make them something he just gave them and they threw it in a box somewhere? The file, is that a copy of the file? Because I've got copies of files. I've kept copies of files throughout the years. Good thing myself and my partner did when we went to the FBI and the state police and the media. Good thing we had something to show them. Good thing we could play them tapes. And when the sheriff said, I've never told nobody not to arrest somebody for dealing drugs. And then you play a tape and it says, Paul, Fred, I don't want these guys arrested. Now get these SOBs. This one right here, I gave him $200 to haul voters for me. And DAM, if he didn't go out and haul my opponent's voters, I wouldn't care if a man set him up. That's what a sheriff told me and my partner on tape.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference in having tapes. There's a difference in having evidence against people and then standing on a stage and accusing a man because you want to steal his glory, because you want 15 minutes of fame. So I'll just steal it from Buford. I can't do nothing on my own. I can't convict this murder case. I can't find these two missing children and really make a name for myself. That'd be too hard to go out here and really investigate a case. I think I'll just steal it from Buford. Be easier just to present him as a wife beater. Where TBI, Mr. Davison, where is the X-ray of Pauline's nose with her name on the X-ray?
Usually on, like you said, on X-rays, they have your name at the bottom. Yours did.
Exactly. Where is, yeah, on my surgery papers in one of our, I'm showing a display case downstairs with my credentials, and there's an X-ray, and you'll see these three big old pins sticking through my hip into my backbone
But you're also
with my name on it.
Mhm.
We don't want to see in 10 years something off the internet that shows up and says this is Pauline's nose. Guys, she may have to be exhumed again. We're out of it.
Yeah.
We are. We've got to quit this because we can't do this. I get too
Passionate.
This is someday I will make a video. I've said this in 10, 20, 30 videos, in other videos on police officers, on Kentucky State police troopers, on this, and I've said someday I will show you something. I will tell you something. And you'll understand why Fred takes up for the underdog. You'll understand why Fred takes up for those that can't take up for themselves. You'll understand why we do what we do. Go ahead, babe.
I Googled if it was easy to break your nose, and it said yes.
You got that
Very
anywhere?
easy. It's very easy to
Go ahead.
break your nose. Right there, as you all can see, it is very easy to fracture your nose because it is prominent and lacks much protection, making it most common bone fracture in the face.
Well, it's the most protruding thing that you've got. Your nose is out there. It's in front of your body, your profile.
Yeah.
The nose is out.
And you can break it by falling off a bike, running into a door, a frisbee, a ball,
Sheila,
anything.
this is an educated man. This guy supposedly has a college degree. He's been elected to one of the highest positions in the state of Tennessee as a prosecutor. This man knows better. Guys, go back to the first videos we made. I didn't talk like this. I was afraid to. I'm thinking, well, maybe there's more. Wait for the autopsy. Wait for this. Wait for that. Wait for the file. Guys, there's nothing to it. They've lost. There's no way if I was in the TBI that I would have even brought a case. And especially when Mr. Davison looked at it and he says, okay, director, where's the casings at? General reminds me of that little commercial. What's that? General Insurance or something?
Insurance, the general.
The general. Yeah. General. Take that general title and 50 cents, guys. Go buy you what's probably $1 nowadays. I've said that for years and years. That's an old saying from the 70s. Take that title and 50 cents and buy you a Coke. Take that title and $1 bill and buy you a Coca-Cola. That's what it is. It's a title. General, we've lost them. We don't have the casings. What do you mean you don't have the casings? Nope. How about the clothing that she had on so we can prove that she was outside that car? Because she would have had dirt all over her clothing where the dew was out there. We've even read in Mike Elam's book or somewhere where there was dirt all over her. Or maybe it was Warren Jones's report where there was dirt on her. Where's those clothing at, director? We need them. General, we've lost them. What? Where's the shoes? We've lost them, General. Where's the blood samples? We ain't got them no more. We've lost. What kind of evidence do you have, director? Well, we got a couple pictures from so-and-so's book, 12th of August, and all this and that. We got some pictures, black and white pictures. Maybe we even got a couple of red pictures where his jaw was shot off, where he stuck a gun in his mouth and done it to him himself, of course, you know. If you guys knew how preposterous this was,
If he put that in his mouth, it would have done damage up through here. It would have damaged
baby,
this whole thing, not just
he
this.
didn't do it, babe. He didn't. And it's sad to think that you've got
There's no
educated people.
way.
It's not only these two on that stage. That's why we're hoping that someday somebody steps forward,
Yeah.
because otherwise they look at the same level as these two here. If you don't stand for the right thing, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And if you know what went on here and what was behind the scenes and you don't say something, you're as guilty as the other ones. You're as guilty
Yeah.
as they are,
Yeah.
because it doesn't take, or are we to believe that everybody is that
Naive.
naive? Thank you.
Naive.
I had a different word.
Naive.
Guys, I hope somebody keeps on this when
Yeah.
Sheila and I are done.
Yeah.
We're going to do a video on this reenactment of the shooting to show you how stupid
Mhm.
it is. And then after that, we got one that we had to redo. Somebody had
Yes.
complained on. We had to edit it a little bit. I think we edited it even for the better. Probably good, because now that we've re-edited it, we found out about the evidence missing. We found out some new stuff. So really, we got to include that into the video that we had to edit because somebody was upset over it. So I don't know who that could be that would have been upset over one of our videos. I don't know who, but we redid it.
Yeah,
They gave
that's
us the
good.
opportunity to edit it, and we did. You're up.
It's all good. All right, guys. We hope you're doing well today. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. God bless. Bye.